Well, hello! Welcome back to our Maserati F1 Manager series. Welcome back to another live stream, and earlier than planned, and double early, because usually we do a Friday evening stream. We brought it forward to 4:30, but we're actually here a little bit earlier than that. So yeah, nice early stream here on a Friday, and we're continuing here in 2027, and we're at race 2, so round 2 here, as we head to China today, and we've got the full race in today's stream. But it's a good one. It's Friday, the weekend's here. Unfortunately, no actual Formula 1 action still for a little while. But yeah, we've got another stream and a weekend to enjoy. So Antonelli has put it in P2. Colapinto's in P8. The car was a little bit up and down in the season opener in Australia. Very DRS heavy track. But our car is looking a lot better suited to China. So we're hopeful we can at least secure a podium with Antonelli and see if we can get a little bit further up with Colapinto as this race goes on. Let me just check that these are all set. They are. In terms of strategy, we're going to go the exact same way. Soft, medium, soft. So a two-stopper seems to be the best way around here. So as I say, both drivers starting on the softs, going to around lap 17, 18, then on to the mediums, then final stint on the soft. But if you're jumping in live right now, I hope you're doing well. If you're watching on demand, thanks for catching up, and I hope you're all doing well, ready for the weekend. And let's begin this Chinese Grand Prix.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. A short moment of time to themselves to focus on the race ahead.
They're in second place on the grid.
All right, let's get this underway then, and let's see how we can go with Kimi Antonelli. See if we can get Colapinto a little bit higher up as well.
It's almost time for the Chinese
Here we go then.
Grand Prix.
It's Max Verstappen on pole. He dominated in Australia, the season opener in 2027. Can he do the same in China, or can we give him a bit of a race today? Antonelli starts from P2. Can we attack Max into turn 1? No, we can't. Max holds on, but we are at least holding on to that P2, which is good to see. And Colapinto P8, so start nice. No collisions, no instants, so we get away nicely in P2 and P8. Or we say P8, Colapinto's made a move somewhere because he's now into P7. So making a move on this opening lap. As Brian Bozzi congratulates him on that. And it was on Ollie Behrman.
Now we're watching the action closely here.
Ollie Behrman now in a Williams here in 2027.
Opportunities there.
And there goes Franco Colapinto into P7. Let's have a look at tyres, shall we? So, top 3 on softs, then Science medium, Sonoda softs, Russell hard, and then a lot of softs. A majority of the grid, I'd say, are on a soft tyre here. Antonelli, nice and close to Max Verstappen here. We'll use a bit of the battery, continue that battery use out of this corner. We're going to get a nice slipstream. The leaders pulling away here. 1.5 to Bortoletto. Bortoletto in the Mercedes here in 2027. Can Antonelli make a move? He's having a look. That's a little bit... Oh, God, we're nearly into the side of Max. And nothing doing. Colapinto, though, looks like he's making another move on George Russell. And George Russell, here in 2027, is in a Ferrari, which looks all sorts of wrong. But there we go. Colapinto, let's get a replay of that on George Russell. Let's say Russell in a Ferrari here in 2027. Franco Colapinto at the hairpin. Nice and easy on the inside. And Franco moves in to a P6 then. A good start from Colapinto. And he's now on the Audi of Yuki Tsunoda. That Audi has been looking pretty good early on here in 2027. Antonelli, well, actually, I do want to just keep attacking for a little while longer. If we can. I'd like to get the DRS on Max if we could. Safi, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Much appreciated. Stormy, hello. How's it going? Oh, no. Antonelli, lock up. That is not what we want. And he's going to tumble down the order here. Antonelli.
Yeah, I did not make a mistake.
Now, you can see what
Kimi.
happened. Let's watch these cars as they head into turn 10.
We're just trying to get into Max's DRS, and then Kimi
You
Antonelli.
can see the lockup. But that's
big
just
lockup.
the risk you take. The later you leave it.
Oh, that's going to cost us big time there. Fine, good to hear. Yes, I was doing well until Kimi Antonelli just had a lockup. And look at the tyre life. He's absolutely rinsed those tyres. And he's under pressure now from Sainz, Tsunoda and his teammate. And Max looks like he's going to have another comfortable afternoon here. He's dominated in Australia. I can't remember what it was, by about 40 seconds, I think, in the end, wasn't it? It was something ridiculous. What's happened here now?
Mate, I f***ed up. I'm sorry.
Oh, Antonelli spun now. What is he doing?
Copy.
Oh, Kimi Antonelli, all sorts of issues early on here. He's had a lockup, and now he's lit up the rears.
Yeah, I did not make a mistake.
Kimi Antonelli, tyres down to 66%. He used 22% more. Right, chat, I'm just going to have to switch over here because we're going to have to change this strategy. Because those tyres are not going to last. I don't think we've got two mediums, have we? Oh. Right, we might have to do something like that, or an extra stop, which isn't ideal. But he's absolutely wrecked this strategy, and it's going to have to be a bit of a recovery drive now. Right, what's the quickest between those? It is going onto that hard tyre. Okay. Okay, so Kimi Antonelli had a lockup and a spin. It's not only cost him 6 seconds to Max Verstappen in the lead, actually 9 seconds to Max, who was 8 tenths behind, so he's lost 9 seconds because of that. He's lost 6 seconds on Bortoletto, but the biggest issue here is his tyres are now down to 64%, and they should be around this 87% mark, so he's going to have to come in a lot earlier than planned. Cleaver, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. As Colapinto is getting past Sainz. Colapinto having a positive start to the race. Kimi Antonelli having an absolute stinker, it's got to be said. So yeah, will these tyres even get to lap 10? They should get to lap 10. Antonelli just needs a few calmer laps now. Miguel, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. But Colapinto, on a positive, is up from 8th to 5th. So he's had a good start. For Antonelli, as we said, is an absolute stinker here. Verstappen leads by 3 seconds, then it's Bortoletto. And then Antonelli, 6.5 seconds behind, so still a chance of the podium, I guess, but it's going to be a long shot. Well, not necessarily a long shot, let's wait and see. But you'd probably say Colapinto's got a better chance than Antonelli at the moment. If you're jumping in for the first time, we are in 2027, so that's why you're seeing quite a random grid with Tsunoda in an Audi, Bortoletto in a Mercedes, Sainz in the Aston, Behrman in a Williams, Russell in a Ferrari, and Perez rounding out the top 10 there in a Mercedes. And if you're jumping into the stream, you've found it already, please do smash that like button. Super appreciated, really helps me out. So Antonelli under a bit of pressure then from Tsunoda. WH Racing, hello, how's it going? Oh, but Colapinto looks like he's making the move on the inside. He is indeed. And he's through on Tsunoda. Colapinto up to P4. And he's got a great chance to get past his teammate here. And I think if he does, we're going to ask Antonelli not to fight him back here, because Antonelli needs to look after those tyres, really.
Copy.
So, a really good start to this race from Colapinto. Started P8. After 5 laps, he's into P3. Antonelli, on the other hand, had a bit of a shocker. Can he save some tyres here? Game-changing upgrades. Yes, indeed. Jake, going to be a way better race in Australia. 4 DRS zones are just wild. Yeah, that was a bit of a stinker, Australia, to be fair. But already we've had a bit of spice early on because Kimi Antonelli has locked up and spun, and now he's got to save a bit of tyre life, really. But Colapinto into P3. The pace in the car looks good. We've got a couple of new upgrades on the car here for China. We've got side pods and suspension, and the car is better suited to China. So, all in all, looking good. But as I say, I did want to challenge for the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship this year, and Max dominated in Australia, and he's already got a 4-second lead here today. I love F1. Good stuff. Good stuff. Eva, thanks for the follow. Soren, hello there. Better than last race. Yes, yes. I think we're going to see a much better race. So Anthony, I'm just trying to save a bit of tyre life. We've got to try and get him to at least lap 10, I'm hoping. But I think that hard tyre is going to be painful indeed. So he's sitting in his teammate's DRS, but he's got team orders, asked not to overtake. Colapinto, though, on the other hand, has had a very nice opening 6 laps. Lee Chapman, who's the fastest right now. This is second race 2027, and it looks like Max's Red Bull. Best race for Colapinto since a long time. Yeah, I'd say so. The season closer in Brazil, he wasn't too bad. I think he finished P5, but yeah, this would be his highest place finish for a long time if he could hold on to it. Long way to go, though. It would be nice for Franco. He's seen his teammate make 2 mistakes, and he's kept it clean so far. Pit loss here is 26 seconds. So Antonelli would be, dead last by quite a bit probably when he pits. So he's going to have to get a quite heavy undercut, but those hard tyres won't be great. Kimi P2, Colapinto P8, but Antonelli had a lock-up, which lost him, he was in second, 8 tenths behind Verstappen, lost him a place to Bortoletto, and then Kimi Antonelli, a few corners later, spun. So his tyres are in the mud, and he's lost a lot of ground, so bit of a struggle from Kimi early on here. Verstappen leads though, 5 seconds. It looks like it's a big dominance again from Max here today. But Antonelli is enjoying that tow from his teammate. And that's just keeping him safe from Carlos Sainz at the moment in the Aston Martin. What are the tyre life behind us? Yeah, Colapinto's tyre life is pretty good, to be fair. Bren Uwu, thanks for the follows. Hope you're both doing well. Much appreciated. So we begin lap 7, and we're just trying to stretch Antonelli to lap 10, and then he's going to go on the hard tyres. Didn't want to use the hards here today, but kind of thrown into it with Antonelli's issues. Brilliant start from Franco. Yeah, brilliant from Franco. He's had a really good start. Westy, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. This is F1 Manager Mayor, so it's not Formula 1. Of course, if you're dropping in, you haven't already, do smash that like button for me. And don't forget to follow or subscribe if you're not already. So yeah, Max is probably going to be out of touch, but Bortoletto isn't a million miles away, but he's managed his tyres pretty well. We did see in the first race, Mercedes looked pretty handy here in 2027. Not as handy as Verstappen's Red Bull, though. But yeah, we have still got 1.7 on Sainz. Look at this though. Lawson in the other Red Bull is now 19 seconds off his teammate after 7 laps. Not great. First time viewer, exciting commentary. Thanks, buddy. Jake, I missed your comment. Max P1 second drive in 16th seems realistic. Yes, indeed. Yes, so I just covered, but I think I missed your comment. Yeah, that is about right for Red Bull, isn't it? Sorry, I started to watch beginning from the series YouTube first 3 videos. Nice work, mate. I'm really enjoying it. Good stuff. Thank you, buddy. And yeah, if you do want to watch all of this series, then if you're watching on TikTok or Twitch, head to my profile, click the YouTube link in my bio. You'll find the Maserati series there. And of course, if you're already watching on YouTube, just simply head to the channel and head to the playlist. Giles, thanks for the follow. Right. Antonelli staying with Colapinto, but Sainz is about 2 seconds behind them now, so this is working quite nicely for us. Antonelli down to 46%. We want to try and get him to at least lap 10. How you're watching. This is F1 Manager 24, so it's a game, not actual of Formula 1. That's why you've got Yuki with Audi. We're in 2027 in this universe. The Audi is starting good. Yeah, the Audi looks pretty handy, actually. Right, 2.8 off Bortoleto. What are these last laps then? We're kind of setting the same pace as Bortoleto. We're slightly quicker than Max there as well. Let's say this car has an upgrade for today's race, and it is better suited to this racetrack, so maybe we might be able to reel Bortoleto in. I'd certainly take 3rd and 4th here today, because we are starting to pull a gap on Sainz. He's on the mediums. And yes, might not be too bad. Sol, thanks for the follow. Zetler, this is F1 Manager, and this is China in 2027. Positions are really random from all drivers right now. Yeah. I still don't know really what the pecking order is here in 2027. As I say, Max's Red Bull, we know, is doing the job. The Mercedes are looking pretty good. But yeah, I don't really know the pecking order. We've got Lando Norris is down in 16th, current world champion. Ferrari's 9th and 12th. Looks like the Alpines not got the car this year. GS, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. I say this is the Chinese Grand Prix and F1 Manager in 2027. So yeah, Max got a 6.4 second lead. But we're now closing that 3 second lead to Bortoleto ever so slightly. Antonelli has definitely been helped by keeping in the DRS of his teammate. And we're going to get him in. So he's going to have to come in early because he had a spin and a lockup.
And the box confirm.
But I don't think it's as bad as it was looking earlier. Sainz is starting to close now. But again, he's used a lot of that tyre, and it's the medium tyre. So, definitely think podiums can be doable. What do you think of the livery this year, chat? I quite like this livery. It's probably my favourite of all 3, actually, that we've ran so far. Right, let's get Antonelli in then for the first stop of the day. We had a sub 2 second stop in Australia. Our pit crew is absolutely on fire in 2027. Let's see what they can deliver in this first pit stop of the day then. Still on a 2-stopper for Antonelli, but this is a lot earlier than we wanted. And we're very early in the pit lane. The second garage now. And it's a 2.1. We like that. And where's he going to come out? Is it going to be dead last? Hadjar in the Alpine is there. I think it will be dead last, won't it? No, we're just going to get him out in front of Hadjar then. So Antonelli onto the hards. This is a different strategy. We didn't want to run this hard tyre, but force into it. Let's see how we go. A lot of these will have to pit soon, so he shouldn't have to do too much overtaking, hopefully. Colapinto not due to stop until lap 18. And if you're jumping in for the first time, we don't forward much of the track action unless we don't have any track action, as we don't right now. So we're just going to forward on till we see any of our teams in a fight. Antonelli is getting closer. And there we go. Antonelli has got a bit of DRS on Maloney, the man he replaced. And he's going to send on his... no, he had a look.
Target at the moment.
Copy.
He had a look, but nothing doing. I can agree with your statement on the livery. I enjoy this one more than the others. Good stuff. Thanks, buddy. Antonelli sending it on the inside. I like that. And I am going to go high on the overtaking because he's going to have to get a few of these done.
Copy.
So Antonelli moves into P20 against the man he replaced at Maserati. But it's great to see Zane Maloney back on the grid. And... if you've seen the comments on the episodes, I had promised to put Zane Maloney in a reserve driver role in 2027 unless he got a drive on the grid. I didn't think, to be honest, he would get a drive on the grid, but Haas have taken a punt on him, so it's good to see him back on the grid. Franco, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Colapinto, it's now 2.3 to Bortoletto. He's got a better tyre advantage, so he's eating into it. P2 is a possibility. Going to change a setting on here, chat. Just hold on. There we go. Right, Antonelli then. He is now on Teo Portier. Their tyres are getting very worn, so Antonelli doesn't want to be losing time here. Oh, there we go. He's through on the inside then. On Teo. No, this is not. It's live, but it's F1 Manager, so it's not a race. Alonso, this is 2027, so Alonso is no longer on the grid. Replay of that then. Antonelli gets past Teo Portier. Had to do that nice and early, and he's got that done. Julio, thanks for the follow. Right, 19. Now 2.3 to Ocon. So let's just forward on, see if we can close that. Yeah, their tyres are getting very worn. We'll see a lot of pit stop activity soon. Colapinto, 1.5 to Bortoletto. That's getting very close as well. Did we get DRS here? Didn't look like we did, but we're getting a nice slipstream nonetheless. So we're going to send one on the inside. Ocon does go defensive on it, as Ollie Behrman is the second man into the pits. I think he's the second man into the pits following Antonelli. He is. Ollie Behrman is next in then. Is Ocon jumping into the pits? No. So we're going to have to get this done here. Going to go around the outside this time. We're past Ollie Behrman in the pits as well. And we take a little bit of the curve there, but around the outside should have better traction on fresh rubber. And Antonelli moves himself up into P17. He's going to get a nice little undercut here. And next man up the road, Mick Schumacher, 6 seconds up the road now. Colapinto, though, we said he was gaining on Bortoletto. And he's not just gained, he's there with him now. Max, 12 seconds. Max is going to win this. He's going to go back-to-back, so we've got our work cut out. We're going to have to hunt down Max if we're going to win a Drivers' Championship in 2027, because Max should have 50 points out of 50 after today. Bortoletto has absolutely bolted off that final corner. We got closer. We did get DRS. Gonna be too far back from here, though. We can have another go, though, on the start-finish straight. We're going to be boxing in about 3 laps' time. Bortoletto, when's he coming in? Here we go. This is the moment. DRS and a bit of battery. We're going to pull alongside Gabriele Bortoletto then. Can we make this move on the outside? They're fighting hard. It's a long way round, but it does give him insight to the left-hander. Once we drop down this small little hill here, here's the left-hander. Bortoletto not giving it up, though. He is fighting this hard. We're still side by side, but Bortoletto continues in P2. And we've got Perez, Stroll, Norris, and Teo Portier into the pits. So that's promoted Antonelli to P14. Antonelli might be a net P2 after this first round of stops. But as I say, he is on the hard tyre, and others will have a tyre advantage on him. Colapinto had a little bit of an attack there on Bortoletto, but couldn't quite get it done. Sopita, thanks for the follow. Max on top, Mercedes strong start, maybe fighting for the constructors. Maserati better than first race. Audi solid and good, pretty fast. Ferrari really, really bad. Aston good and bad. Williams really good this race. McLaren not so good last season. Alpine Haas bad like every time. Yes, indeed, Soren. Good synopsis, that is. Bortoletto, we had a go, but he's now bolted. Paddy, can we see more tyre wear? You can see the tyre wear there. Yeah, Bortoletto started lean on those tyres, so I think this might be Bortoletto's in lap. Is Bortoletto going to come into the pits? Yes, I thought so. He pushed pretty hard there. So it'll be interesting to see if Antonelli then, as he looks like he's just got past Mick Schumacher, is he going to jump Bortoletto here?
Good job. You are P13. In front of you there is Gasly.
So this is going to be for a net P2. And I think he is going to be past Bortoletto, isn't he? Not by too much, but Antonelli is past Bortoletto then. So that's good work from him. I'm going to bring in Colapinto. Yeah, do we bring him in the end of this lap? Do we go for one more? Might go for one more. Just to give us a bit of a tyre advantage in that next stint.
Copy.
Right, Antonelli now on Pierre Gasly, who's in an Aston Martin here in 2027. So everyone below Antonelli, apart from Hadjar, have stopped. The top 8 are yet to stop. Antonelli getting a nice toe. He's going to send it here. And that's going to be job done on Gasly. Before this long straight and the DRS then, Antonelli moves into P8.
You are doing a good job.
Not due to stop now till lap 33. So Antonelli, after those 2 errors, starting to make it work for him. All right, Colapinto, let us attack, and we're going to box end of this lap now. Saho, thanks for the follow, and if you're dropping into the stream, if you haven't already, please do me a massive favour, smash that like button, really helps me out. As Albon, Lawson and Gasly all in the pit, so Antonelli, who's Anton when he's at home? Antonelli is moving into P6, and let's save a bit of that battery. Yeah, so Antonelli will be in net P2. Oh, and he's going to have a good advantage on his teammate. He's going to have about 5-6 seconds probably on Colapinto, but Colapinto should be quicker once he gets these medium tyres on. So let's wait and see on that. Let's get him round. Antonelli, yeah, he's not challenging anyone at the moment. So let's get Colapinto in then. This is going to be his first stop of the day. First of 2 stops. And as I say, we're very early in the pit lane now. Finished P2 in the constructors, so we're the second garage on the pit lane now. McLaren are first. Looks like they're preparing for a stop as well. Piastri in. What can we do here? 2.4, a little bit slower that is for us in 2027, but we still take it. Let's see where we come out. As I say, Antonelli's already passed us, so is Bortoletto, but we've got a bit of a tyre delta on Bortoletto, significant on our teammate. There's Behrman. Behrman's actually going to get an undercut as well. He stopped pretty early. Well, that's fine. Let's get Colapinto, get those tyres up to 10. Mick Schumacher did pit now as well, so just Verstappen and Russell to pit, and Hadjar, who's lower down. Jose, hello, buddy. Kazelik, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. So 18 laps gone, Max leads, and he's dominating again. And but I think we're on for a battle for P2 with Bortoletto. I think we should be able to secure at least P3 and P4 with our drivers here today. Antonelli, I don't really know where he's going to end up because he's on a bit of a different strategy now, but we'll see how it all plays out. We'll just forward on until Colapinto arrives on Behrman. He might already be on Behrman, though. He's got Sainz all over him. Sainz has stopped as well, yeah. All right, Max is in. But we want to get him past Ollie Behrman as soon as possible. Behrman goes defensive to the inside. There is room around the outside here. But it is the long way round, but we're liking it. And we've got inside line now to this final left-hander. And I think we got the DRS detection zone, but we've just lost a bit of traction there. We didn't get the DRS. Yes, we did. But Sainz is absolutely steaming ahead. And Colapinto is going to lose out. Yes, he is. Can he get Behrman? No, that's not worked well for Colapinto at all. How's Brian Bozzi in the game? It's on PC, so mod. But unfortunately, no voice lines from Brian. Yeah, Verstappen did stop your race leader. He's still got a 3-second gap on Antonelli. But Antonelli's got 2.5 seconds on Bortoletto. This is hurting Colapinto now, though. This is not where he wanted to be. Let's give him everything he wants here. As I said, the pecking order, we just don't know at the moment, but Sainz's Aston Martin came alive. What's the tyre delta here? We've got better tyres. We need to use this. We need Franco to use this because the gap to his teammate is about 10 seconds now. Sainz Aston Martin, I actually need this, yeah. Kind of works, Sainz in an Aston. I don't know why, it just works. See, this is a problem now. We've got a bit of a DRS strain. Colapinto's going to have to do something quite aggressive, and he could look at the outside as Behrman's getting a little bit bogged down on the hairpin. That might open up the outside line. It does. That's nice work from Franco. Now, he's looking at the rear wing. Carlos Sainz is going to have no DRS to defend himself against. We're going to use some battery out of here as well. Battery and DRS. That Aston Martin's no straggler down the straight, though. We've got to go around the outside again, but Sainz not having it. And Behrman's still with us as well, so Sainz is putting up a bit of a fight here. So we're going to have to be patient for another lap. Jose, I love F1. Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. I think also the livery is the most beautiful from all three. Yeah, it's definitely my favourite. As I say, we try to put a bit of red in the car. Red and blue I never think goes well, so that was always not going to work too well. But yeah, this is by far my favourite Maserati livery. Although I did put a vote out on YouTube and I gave offers of blue, I think red or yellow. And when I made the livery, blue was leading the vote. But when I checked today, yellow was actually leading the vote. So what I might do is have to do a special yellow Maserati livery for maybe Monaco, or maybe we'll run it a couple of races. So I'll work on a yellow Maserati livery or, as I say, a special livery at some point this season. Sainz got to be dragging that car up the field. Yeah, Sainz has surprised me in this middle stint. He's come alive on those hards, unless he's using a lot of battery and tyre. What's the gap on tyre is 8% at the moment. But Antonelli's actually looking really good now, because his tyre delta is only 8% to these other hard runners. So, yeah, I think the pendulum swung again for Antonelli, because Colapinto's losing ground here. And he's got to try and get this done on Sainz, but again, he looks to be a little bit too far back here. Inside would be better. And again, Sainz is covering off that inside, nothing doing. How far back is he? 7. Yeah, he's still about 8.7 seconds off his teammate. Yellow and blue like Williams once would go crazy, yes. I don't know if I could replicate that iconic Williams though, but we can give it a go. Is this AI? It's not such AI, it's F1 Manager 24, so a video game. And Hadjar finally pits. That's a long time coming. So Antonelli is stayed in P2, although Bortoletto, he's got the undercar on Bortoletto. Bortoletto hasn't caught him yet. And we can use a bit of that pace with Antonelli. 3.9 to Verstappen. For the moment, Sainz's pace looks good in that Aston, but yeah, he is pushing. He is on attack on those hards, though, because the gap is now 10%, so that makes more sense. But unfortunately, we've got a threat from behind. Yuki Tsunoda is about to launch her attack on Franco Colapinto here. On the inside, and that's all slow and sluggish. We're losing time all the time there. Ah, Franco, come on. This was looking good for you. And now it's going a little bit wrong. Yellow-white for Monaco would be cool. Yeah, like it, like it. Can we fight straight back with Franco? No. But these hard runners are attacking on those hards. So they've put the hards on, but they're going for an attack on them. Antonelli's just kind of holding on to P2 at the moment. Serafina, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're well. You, random user, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. And if you haven't already, do smash that like button. Super appreciated. And of course, get involved in the comments and follow or subscribe if you're not already. Right, I need to get back past Yuki Tsunoda here. The McLarens are kind of nowhere. They're reigning Constructors Champions and Driver Champion with Norris, but it looks like McLaren haven't nailed 2027 regs, at least so far. And Ferrari, both Ferraris out of the points. We've got a Mercedes out of the points, 2 Ferraris out of the points, a Red Bull, a McLaren. Yeah, Audi looking good this year. Right, here we go. Colapinto, DRS. Can he reclaim P5 on Yuki Tsunoda? He's round the outside. He's got that one done. Are these AI teams on the hard now starting to ease off their tyres? Can Colapinto now come back and start to use his pace? Bortoletto's dropped 2.4 behind Antonelli.
Still lift off.
This is a Max win unless Max does something mad. Are we going to go for a late lunge? Ooh, Colapinto thought about it. As a Lance Stroll, the GOAT, who's now in Audi, has set the fastest lap. I'll say that Audi's got a good car. Yellow flag, was that a collision? Yes, it was. Are we going to get a safety car here? Sergio Perez. With the Williams, I forget who's in the second Williams. That's not Behrman, because Behrman's further up. It's Albon. Albon's still in the Williams, and he's parked on the outside. Is he going to get going again? It looks like it is just a yellow flag. I think Albon is getting going again. Yeah, Albon's back on track. Alright, here we go. Sainz has surely stopped pushing on those hards because now we're all over the gearbox. And Colapinto's got a great chance there. Moving back to P4, then hopefully he can start to use his pace to close to Bortoletto and his teammate Antonelli. Go for it now. This is going to be before the DRS. Not the wisest decision. Because now we're going to give DRS to Sainz all the way down this straight. As Perez gets a penalty for that collision with Albon. But actually, we're dropping Sainz quite quickly there. Yeah, Perez gets a penalty. Albon, no damage for Albon, so he gets away with that. But he's been punted down to P17. What is this? This is F1 Manager 24. Stop, I thought it was real. No, it's not real, unfortunately. No Formula 1 action just yet. Not too long, though. Couple of weeks and Formula 1 will be back. How would a dark metallic purple silver mix as a livery? Worth a go potentially. Alright, Colapinto then now can use his pace. Stretch his legs, as they say. Andrea, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Yeah, Verstappen's built that lead back up to 6 seconds. So Antonelli due to go now till lap 33. Colapinto lap 40. So that's where we're at the moment. Colapinto, I might just get him using a little bit more battery. Because I would like him just to get 2 seconds on Sainz. Vamos Colapinto indeed. Colapinto back to P4, doing big things now. He's playing F1 Manager and commentating himself. That's the one. Nailed it. Right, Antonelli P2, Colapinto P4. So let's forward on then, see what happens with some of these gaps. But if you're jumping in for the first time, we do stream this every Tuesday and Friday. So if you like what you see, do follow or subscribe and check us out every Tuesday and Friday. So we're back on Tuesday to continue this 2027 season. And we'll be on to race 3, which I believe is going to be Suzuka. Don't think we've changed the calendar on the front end. And of course, you can do me a massive favor. Smash that like button. Super appreciate it. Really helps me out. And we've got Bortoletto closing in a little bit here. So Colapinto, 6.3 now off his teammate, but he should start to close a little bit, just naturally. Abby, thanks for the follow. Custom push. We will push. We're just seeing from this stint through. Got another 14 laps on this stint, so we don't want to push too early. Bortoletto now has arrived on Antonelli. Bortoletto, that tyre advantage he had of what was it, 15% or something? He has used all of that now. But he's going to have a good run on Kimi Antonelli here. Looks like he's starting to push a bit. And here we go, Gabriel Bortoletto in the Mercedes for 2027 is trying to reclaim P2 of Kimi Antonelli, and Colapinto would like these two to fight because he's only 6.3 seconds behind. And look, that's come down already by half a second with Bortoletto just struggling out of exit there. Team name, this is Maserati. Where is Hamilton? In 2027, there's no Hamilton. This year on the grid, Hamilton has left the grid, Alonso's left, Hülkenberg left. Bortoletto again looks to the inside, nothing doing. So Antonelli frustrating Bortoletto. As I say, this is going to inadvertently help his teammate Colapinto if these two start to fight. Anand, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Hope you're well. Max's lead now up to 10 seconds.
Copy.
Maserati looks very cool. Thanks. Thank you. Much appreciated. Piastri in the McLaren has actually made his way up to P5. So the McLaren's starting to show some pace finally in this race. But Max, this is what he did in the season opener in 2027. This is race 2. He dominated in Australia and he's going to do the same again here. So we've really got to upgrade this car to challenge Max. Looks like the car is pretty decent around here to challenge the rest of the grid. But as in real life, Max is kind of in a league of his own. So you've got to go that extra mile. Bortoletto, again, a little bit slower out of the traction zones there. But Colapinto, it's now under 5 seconds. Bortoletto pushing his car a little bit harder here. We can see the tyre life coming down. He's now under what Antonelli's usage is. Anastasia, thanks for the follow. Super appreciated. Yeah, Bortoletto struggling to get this move done then. And Colapinto, who was on the straight, he could then see those two battling. So Colapinto starting to come back into this. Going to be interesting. It looks like it's between... Verstappen's going to win it. It looks like it's between Antonelli, Bortoleto and Colapinto for the next two places on the podium, because Piastri, 6 seconds cut adrift. I don't think they've got much tyre margin. No, they've used more tyre. So, yeah, it's these Max is on his own, then it's these three, and the rest are cut adrift. Secret and Kamikats, I butchered that, but thanks for the follow. Okay, this is F1 Manager, so not a Formula 1 race. Thanks for dropping in. Right, Antonelli, let's just use a bit of that fuel that he's built up.
No lift off.
Copy.
And I'll deploy a bit of energy out of here just to keep Bortoleto behind again.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Halfway through this one then. And it's looking a much better race for us. Finished P6, I think it was, in Australia with Antonelli, and Colapinto couldn't get into the points. So, much stronger showing from both drivers here. I still think Franco's got something to say about this result. He might be able to fight his teammate at the end here. Augustin, thanks for the follow. Super appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Bortoleto continues. He's 3% more, so he's pushing hard on the tyres, Bortoleto, but he can't get past Kimi Antonelli. And Colapinto's lost a bit of ground in that last lap or so. Well, that's fine. Let's just keep on board with this battle, because that's where it's at the moment. Antonelli, yeah, he keeps on this tyre delta at the moment. Ruben, thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the follow. Super appreciated. Piastri getting a little bit closer. Maybe he's starting to push. Has Colapinto got any... The problem is Colapinto's not got too much tyre delta to push. We could go aggressive for a lap or so.
We need some lift.
Okay, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Right, Bortoletto's still there, but now use 5% more tyre life. He's absolutely burning his tyres up behind us. Which, if Antonelli can't reach... if Colapinto can't reach Antonelli, he's got a good chance of reaching Bortoletto, because Bortoletto's really burning out these hard tyres. Adam, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. And Geraldo, thanks for the follow. But Bortoletto again has to look at that rear wing of our Maserati. He can't find a way past at the moment.
Everything is ready.
Copy.
So we're now in our pit window, not due to stop till lap 33, so we've got another few laps with Bortoletto. What about a late lunge, but nothing doing there. HR Sheila, thanks for the follows. Tao, thanks for the follows. Hope you're all doing well. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Super appreciated, really helps me out. And this is F1 Manager 24, so available on PC and consoles. But I play on PC, so that's why we'll see different liveries and mods on here. You won't get that on console, unfortunately. It's the Piastri fan. Thanks for the follow. Stroll is the first driver in for a second stop, I believe. Yes, he is indeed the first driver in for the second stop of the day in his Audi here in 2027. Left his father, maybe, or they maybe have a family dispute. Hi, I hope you're well. I'm very well, thanks. Hope you are as well. Danita, thanks for the follow. KH, thanks for the follow. Right, so Antonelli, we could start to push soon. Colapinto, yeah, still in that sort of 5-second range. You can't get much closer at the moment, Colapinto. Bortoletto, he looks a lot closer this time. Looked at the inside, switching to the outside. No, and that's quite slow again around there. Bortoletto down to 45%. Right, Antonelli, I think, could probably attack here.
Okay, more push, more push.
Copy.
So let's have Antonelli pushing. Colapinto does bring it down to under 5 seconds for now. But yeah, this is where the fight is at the moment. I think... yeah, the thing is, do we extend or not? Because... I think if Bortoleto pits before us, then we'll extend. What's the standings? It's only race 2, so Max won the first race. So Max leads. But yeah, we can have a look at the standings. There you go. That's current standings. This is live, though, with actuals around 2, but Max won the first race. So if it finished how we are right now, Max would have a comfortable lead. And there's the constructors as well. What are those race engineers? We've got Benizzi for Antonelli and Brian Bozzi for Colapinto. Maserati is an Italian team, so most of the staff we've got on this save are Italians. And it looks like Antonelli might have just broken the DRS to Bortoleto there. And Colapinto can visibly see them just about in the distance now. So his tyres now starting to come to him. A Snowball, thanks for the follow. Bortoleto pits, so yeah, maybe Antonelli will just push for another couple of laps. Give him a tyre delta on Bortoleto.
Copy.
Right, let's just forward on then for a couple of laps, chat. Just whilst we can. I'll go for another lap with Antonelli. Do one... Actually, let's get him in next lap. So let's go next lap with Antonelli. Yeah, so Antonelli's going to come in at the end of this lap. This will be his second and final stop. Colapinto can't really close that gap, in all honesty. All right, here we go then, chat. Antonelli in for the second stop, his final stop of the day. Bortoleto probably going to get the undercut on him here. But we've gone a little bit longer to give him a tyre advantage at the end of this race. It will be the medium tyres going on. Bortoleto's on the mediums as well. Oh, nearly under 2 seconds there. But not quite. So we expect Bortoleto to get the undercut. How far behind will we be, though? Not going to be a million miles away, is he? No. Not at all, but Sonoda's in between us, but Sonoda does need a pit. Right, let's just get those tyres up to 10. Sky, thanks for the follow. Super appreciated. Hope you're well. So he's about 2 seconds behind Bortoleto, but he's got 12% tyre advantage. So I think that's worked out very well. Colapinto...
Try to minimize the gap with the car in front now.
He's going to lap 40, so I think Colapinto is probably on for P4 here today. That would still be a good result. Started P8. Antonelli's had a good recovery from his issues early on. We'll see. Colapinto might be very quick at the end. He's going to be on soft tyres. Plenty of battery with Antonelli. Let's start using that.
Use overtake.
Copy.
Right, Yuki Tsunoda, we should get past him. He's on hard tyres at 35%.
Tires will be fine.
Copy.
DRS now. Should see that advantage in straight line speed. And there we go on the inside of the Audi. And Antonelli is through then, back to P6. And the car ahead is Bortoleto.
Copy. Yes, let's go.
And Verstappen has a 20-second lead, but of course he does need to pit. That gap will be a little bit smaller to Bortoleto. As Bortoleto getting past Carlos Sainz, who's still yet to stop. So again, that's going to be a job that Antonelli needs to do as well. Colapinto, another 4 laps. He'll be in for his final stop, but he's going to be quite a way back on his teammate. Probably 10 seconds, 12 seconds. Who's Mal? Is it Maldonado? Not quite the legend Maldonado. It's Zane Maloney in the Haas. And he was a driver we started with. We started this series in Maserati with Zane Maloney, and he's back in the grid in 2027.
Yeah, keep doing your best.
Right, Antonelli needs to get past Sainz. Sainz tyres at the end of their life. And we've got fresh tyres on. We don't want to be losing out to Bortoleto. That's our race for P2. Take the slipstream, we move to the inside. And there we go, we are past, but Bortoleto looks like he's now on Oscar Piastri, and he's going to get another helping of DRS here. Victoria, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. So yeah, Bortoleto, that's who we're fighting really for P2. But he's now going to get past Piastri. Piastri needs to stop. Piastri might be in at the end of this lap anyway. Bortoleto is getting that move done. Is Piastri going to peel off into the pits? No, he carries on, which is a bit annoying because that means Antonelli is going to have to get past him this lap. Dean, thanks for the follow. Jumping in, if you haven't already, do follow or subscribe, and make sure you smash that like button. Super appreciated.
Is 1.5 from you. Try to recover your previous rhythm that was looking fine.
So yeah, Verstappen leads by 22 seconds. Still yet to make his final stop though, but he should lead and win this race. Piastri has actually stayed with Bortoleto, which is a bit annoying, but Piastri should be in at the end of this lap. Russell, what are you doing? Yeah, Russell in a Ferrari here in 2027. It's not going too well for Ferrari. Hopefully you Ferrari fans, this isn't what's to come in the future for Ferrari, because here in 2027 they've got a very poor car. Even worse than the current car. Luna and Sebastian, thanks for the follows. Antonelli then, key that he gets past Piastri, don't want to be losing any more time. He's dipping back into the slipstream.
Keep focus on our race.
Now back out with the DRS. And he should be on the inside then. And now the man that we are fighting for P2 is the man up the road in Bortoleto. But the tyre advantage is 13% to us, so that's looking good for Kimi. As Piastri does finally pit. And we're just forward on to lap 40. Well, actually, we might not forward on to lap 40 because if Antonelli gets into the DRS of Bortoleto, which he's basically there now, then we can get this done. Belma and Jamie, thanks for the follows. Leclerc very slippery. Where's Hamilton? No Hamilton in 2027. Hamilton, Hulkenberg and Alonso all left the grid at the end of 26. Maserati, yes, this is Maserati on F1 Manager. Antonelli, let's have a go then. Let's have a go on Bortoleto.
Do your best. Overtake available.
Oh, we nearly went for it already out of the banking there, and we're going to move past. The difference using the battery will get DRS to pull away as well. And this is Antonelli back to P3. It'll be a net P2, and we're going to keep pushing, see if we can break the DRS and give Antonelli a comfortable drive home.
8 seconds from car ahead.
And he has broken that DRS. Good work. Grace, thanks for the follow. Do you think there'll be an F1 Manager 26? I don't think there will, but who knows? Who knows? Obviously, there's not one this year. Ultimately, the game didn't make enough sales, so I don't know. We shall see. But in terms of Kimi Antonelli now, P3, and he's going to take over his teammate Colapinto for P2. I think Colapinto's going to be too far behind Antonelli, but could Colapinto get to Bortoleto? We'll wait and see. Sainz is still out there, isn't he, on his tyres? All right, let's attack with Franco here.
Copy.
I want to hit a next lap with Franco. Oh, just forward on chat, get Franco in for his final stop, and then we'll be on to the final 15 laps of this race and see if we can get a double podium. As Oscar Piastri is saying the fastest lap of the race. Verstappen, race leader, finally pits, and in 2027 you get a point for putting it on pole. So Verstappen got a point for putting it on pole here. But here we go, Colapinto's final stop of the day. Let's see where he comes out. And hopefully he's going to have some pace to maybe chase down Bortoleto in the final 15 laps here. 2.1, we like that from the pit crew. And Max actually has come out. It's not going to last very long, but Max has come out in P2 behind Antonelli. But he will have the pace to get past us, but it's nice work last. Colapinto. Sainz is still out on 28% tyres. Piastri. Yeah, it's quite a bit behind, so I think that's going to be fine. Look at the stars. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, Max Verstappen, he's on better tyres. He's on soft tyres, quicker compound, and he's got better tyre life. So we're not really going to be able to fight Max here, but we might be able to frustrate him for a couple of corners. Sam and SOF, thanks for the follows. Super appreciated. Hope you're both doing well. And if you haven't already, do smash that like button. So Colapinto is 15 seconds off Bortoleto. That's quite a bit, isn't it? But what's Bortoleto tyre? We might be able to close it. And there goes Max Verstappen. Then, as I say, we haven't got the pace to challenge Max here today, but it is looking like a comfortable P2 for Antonelli.
In front is Verstappen.
So who's not made their second stop? Sainz, who's now down to 26% tyres. What is Carlos Sainz doing? Carlos Sainz has got the mighty Lance Stroll in an Audi behind him. And he's now got the mighty Lance Stroll ahead of him. Stroll into P6. Audi on for a good result here in China. Surely Sainz is coming into the pits. Oh no, what are Aston Martin doing? He's down to 26% tyre life. Not sure what he's doing there. Holy Holly, thanks for the follow. R&D, thanks for the follow. Right, 15 laps to go then. And yeah, we can just forward a bit of this because we want to see if Colapinto can close down that gap to Bortoleto. Max sets the fastest lap. He's now pulled 2.7 seconds, 3 seconds on Antonelli. So Max is all on his way as Albon takes the fastest lap off Max Verstappen. Go on, Albono. Chemo Drackle, thanks for the follows. Hope you're both well. Colapinto's got the gap under 9 seconds. As Sainz is finally stopping in that Aston. I'm not sure what they were trying back there, but 81%. This is looking pretty good for Colapinto. Hello, what happened? Why is McLaren flopping? This is 2027, second race of the season. McLaren are not as good at the moment in 2027. And what is Leclerc doing, bro? Where is Leclerc? Leclerc's down in P16, having a bit of a mare. He's got a good tyre advantage on some of these. Who knows? He might be able to bring it back. But this Ferrari is a bit of a dog here in 2027. Colapinto then, 5.3. Off Bortoleto, but he is going about a second and a half quicker. So this is looking good for Colapinto. Russell's in top 8. But again, Norris has got good tyre life behind him, so he might have to hold on to that. The two Audis, 6th and 7th. And it looks like Tsunoda will be getting past his teammate here. But then it's 10 seconds to Piastri, so that's not really going to happen. Could Piastri catch Bortoleto? He might be able to. Here we go then. Yuki Tsunoda in an Audi on his teammate Lance Stroll in an Audi. Yuki's going to send it down the inside. And is he going to let him pass? I think he is. Yeah, there we go. Tsunoda into 6th, Stroll 7th. PB24, thanks for the follow. It's a game, it's F1 Manager 24, Delgado. Thanks for the follow, hope you're doing well. Right, 10 laps to go. We're 4 seconds off Bortoleto. This has been a much better race than the season opener in Australia for us. Antonelli's going to be comfortable in P2. As this is a sad moment for Zane Maloney. The man who replaced him is now lapping Zane Maloney. Antonelli. Mike, thanks for the follow. Right, so Antonelli, as I say, he's going to comfortably finish P2 here. Max's gap isn't going to be as big in Australia, but he's still easily dominated this race. Colapinto, what are we? 2.4. 2.3 off Bortoleto. So we're trying to close down Bortoleto here with Franco Colapinto for a double podium here. And here we go. We can see him now. We can see Bortoleto. We've got DRS on him. A little bit too far back. What's Bortoleto stars? 50%. This should be easy work for Franco Colapinto. And this will be a double podium for Maserati in round 2 in 2027. That would be very good for our constructors. But we've got work to do. We're going to challenge Max for the Drivers' Championship. Got a yellow flag somewhere. So we don't really want a safety car now. Zane Maloney having a lock-up. Dead last for Haas. CC, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Colapinto then. This is the moment. Franco Colapinto gets into the slipstream. He's going to get DRS here. And we should have better traction on these softs. And we pull to the inside early on here. DRS now open. We should see the speed difference now. And by the time we get to the braking zone, Franco Colapinto is into P3. But Bortoleto does break that a little bit later. But he can't get it done. And Colapinto then into P3. That tyre advantage helping him there. And he's now into P3, but he's 19 seconds off Antonelli, unfortunately. So I don't think he's going to have that kind of pace in 5 laps, but he should be able to pull away from Bortoleto here. And we might just give him a couple of tools to do that. Got to go. Patrick, Gale, SKN, thank you all for the follows. Hope you're all doing well. Is this an old raid? No, it's F1 Manager 24s. We've got another yellow flag.
Mate,
Are we locking up, or is that... He's locking up again, Antonelli.
Watching the action closely here.
Antonelli's had a lot of mistakes, but he's going to get away with it today.
Oh, and the car locks up. They were just unable to do much about it.
That's his second lockup, and he's had a spin. I don't know how he's in P2 somehow, because Colapinto seems to have done everything right here. Down to 54%. That should be fine, though. Right. Colapinto looks like he's pulled that gap on Bortoleto. The gap has come down by 4 seconds with that lock-up to Antonelli. But the tyre advantage isn't going to be big enough. Richard, thanks for the follow. Yeah, this is F1 Manager 24 on PC and console. And this will be interesting to see what lap time Antonelli done here with that lockup. It should be around a 1:39. Yes, it's nearly a 1:40.
5 laps to go.
Copy.
So he's probably lost a good 5 seconds here. Yeah, he lost 5 seconds on that lap to his teammate with that lockup. Yeah, we could probably go aggressive with Franco. We can't really go full out attack, unfortunately. How about we'll give it a go? Danisau? Imagine Colapinto getting a podium for real. Yeah, I don't... That might be something that never happens. Oh, 9, thanks for the follow. Is the game free? No, it's not. I don't believe it's free anyway. It's typically around 20 to 30 pounds, euros, or whatever your currency might be. Right, 4 laps to go. And I think we're pretty comfortable here now, chat. Yeah, Colapinto's now got 7 seconds on Bortoleto. Fuel is good for both drivers. I mean, he's not going to catch Antonelli, is he, Colapinto? So I don't want to Behrman's running wide, sorry, as I say that.
Heading down the straight.
Don't want to burn his tyres up.
And wide they go, leaving the racing line.
Behrman losing a bit of time there. Yeah, just put him back down to standard. He's not going to close 14 seconds in 2 laps. You viewed. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? Yes, I'm very well. Very well. It's Friday. Weekend's here. Premier League football's back, so I'm very, very happy you viewed. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So, as Max starts the penultimate lap, so does Colapinto. As I say, 14 seconds to his teammate, but we are on for a lovely double podium here. We've got a little bit of a Noah's Ark going on, 2 by 2, apart from Bortoleto. We've got 2 Maseratis, 2 McLarens, and 2 Audis there. Who's in the top 10 then? Verstappen, Antonelli, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Piastri, Norris, Tsunoda, Stroll, Russell, Lawson. It's all got a bit boring with the big teams, although Audi, I guess maybe Audi would be classed as a big team at some point. But the McLarens have fight back well here, and it's 5.2. Piastri's not quite going to get there. The McLarens, race pace, been pretty good in the end. Yuriak, thanks for the follow. Yeah, race pace from McLaren's been pretty good. They got themselves back up to 5th and 6th. Not too bad, been in hospital. Sorry to hear that, you viewed. I hope you're better. Or on the mend. Wilson, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. But Max has dominated again. This is a bit worrying for our plan to try and win this Drivers' Championship this year, because he won, I'm sure it's by 30 plus seconds in Australia, and he's going to win by 17 odd here. And if he would have pit a little bit earlier on both of his stints, it probably would have been around 30 seconds there. Laceration on my right arm, but it was sword. Good stuff. Glad you're all mended. Isa, thanks for the follow.
Last lap. Copy.
Right, so Verstappen starts the last lap. As I say, he dominated in the 2027 season opener in Australia Down Under, and he's dominated here again in China. So that's a little bit ominous for us. Take the Driver Championship fight to him, but we've got 17 rounds left, so we can do a lot of design work. But what is nice for us is a double podium here today. Australia was difficult, but we've got a couple of upgrades. Better suited to the racetrack here today. And we're going to get a double podium. That's going to help with our constructors. I'm very confident in this 2027 constructors title, although we're only the 2nd race in. But the Drivers' Championship is going to be a little bit more difficult with this man here, Max Verstappen. We know, as in real life, he can make the difference, and that's no difference here. Fernanda, thanks for the follow. Koa, thanks for the follow. Lucas, thanks for the follow. But as we watch Max then, just a couple of corners to go, and then this race is going to come to a close. And before it does, make sure you're smashing that like button. And if you're not already, do follow or subscribe. I'd say we stream this series every Tuesday and Friday. But here comes the Dutchman there, Max Verstappen, just the left-hander to do. And he's dominated, as I say, in Australia. And he's dominated it in China. It's Max Verstappen that wins the Chinese Grand Prix. And then we have to go 19 seconds down the road to our first Maserati, our team here. And it's Kimi Antonelli, who's had a really up and down race. Lots of mistakes, but somehow still made it work to finish P2 and 15 seconds ahead of his teammate. Not sure how he's done that, but Kimi claims a podium. His first in 2027. It's P2 for Kimi Antonelli. But Colapinto started P8, and that is a mega drive from him. Started P8, gets himself to P3. No mistakes, solid pace. And Franco Colapinto is going to be on the final step of the podium. It's P2 for Kimi Antonelli and P3 for Franco Colapinto. And Natasha Miguel, thanks for the follows, much appreciated. Is there any fights going on here? There is. Yuki Tsunoda on George Russell. He looked to the inside. He's going to try and go around the outside. He's not going to make that work, though. George Russell is going to hold on for P7 in his Ferrari here in 2027. Tsunoda had a go. What about Stroll? He's having a go on Lawson as well. Well, that's not going to happen. So Norris finishes P7. P6, Russell P7. Tsunoda in the Audi P8. Lawson P9. And Stroll makes it a double points finish for Audi in P10.
One's newest team, shattering all expectations here.
Tipsy, thanks for the follow. Mitchell, thanks for the follow.
You've got to say their race strategy was very good.
There we are. Good result for us. A double podium for Maserati.
This magnificent result.
It's done thing where I was fine, then wonder where it's come from, then it would stop.
How do you think they'll be feeling in the team?
What a nightmare you've been. Well, glad it's all better now, buddy.
Well, they'll be so proud to have had both drivers on the podium. They're certainly doing something right. Next round will see us head east as F1 prepares for the
Unfortunately, we never get podiums with our drivers. I think it's because we haven't got game faces, but they are there on the podium, second and third. And we'll have a look at the full race classification then. Max Verstappen takes maximum points. He's won both races, and he got pole for this one. So you do get a point for pole here in 2027. So he should be on 51 points. So good start to the season for Max Verstappen. It's Kimi Antonelli. Started P2, finished P2, but it was up and down in between that. But he finished P2. But look at this. Great work from Franco Colapinto. Started P8, up 5 places to P3. And yeah, really good drive from Franco. And his best result for quite a while. As I say, Brazil, I think he got to P5. Can't remember the last time he was on the podium. But good to see him back up there. Bortoletto, he finished where he starts as well in P4. So solid points there for Mercedes. And look at the McLarens. As I say, their race pace really did come alive. Up 6 places for Piastri to finish 5th. Lando Norris up 9 to finish 6th. George Russell in the Ferrari finishes 7th. Yuki drops 3 in the Audi to 8th. Lawson up 8 as well in the Red Bull to get into the points. And Lance Stroll in the other Audi up to 10th as well. So it does mean Perez in the other Mercedes doesn't get into the points, and Leclerc just had a miserable race down there. Started P10, dropped 3 places and finished P13. Drivers' Championship then, it's early days, it's only 2 rounds, but yeah, there we see it. Max Verstappen 51 points. He's got 2 wins in a row, 25 points each for that, and as you'll see in the bottom right here, you got a pole position, you get a point for pole, so he's got an extra point there. Lando Norris is in P2, so he had a podium in Australia, and he got 8 points here today, but Kimi Antonelli has now drawn level on points on 26. P2 for Kimi Antonelli, up 3 places to 3rd. Gabriel Bortoletto up to 4th. Sergio Perez drops, no points for him in the Mercedes today after his 3rd place finish in Australia. And Colapinto into the top 6. That's where he finished last year. 15 points for him today. Stroll down to 7th. Piastri up to 8th. Tsunoda down to 9th. And Russell jumps 9 places into the top 10. We've already had quite a few point scorers because we've also had Mick Schumacher in the RB, Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly. Constructors then. Only 2 rounds gone. But thanks to Max's points, what's he got? 51. So Lawson has got 3 of those 54 points so far. That's about as accurate as real life for Red Bull, isn't it, with a second driver? But because of Max's points, Red Bull are just ahead in the Constructors. But if we keep up what we've done today, we will overtake them. So we're into P2, up 3 places today with 33 points. Best team collectively with points, and we're into P2. McLaren stay 3rd, but Mercedes are level on points. McLaren have drawn level on points. How have they not dropped us? Because we've jumped them both. So McLaren technically have jumped Mercedes, but lost out to us. So they stay the same, but they go ahead of Mercedes, if that makes sense. But they're both on 37 points. Audi doing big things already early on in this season, 23 points. Ferrari, though, they're really struggling in 2027, only 6 points. RB have 4, Aston Martin have 2. So it's only 3 teams that haven't scored this year, and that's the earliest that's happened in this series. I think last year there was 4 teams not scoring until about the last 5 or 6 races. So plenty of different point scorers early on, so we like to see that. What about the pit stop competition? We're pretty confident on this year, and we have got the fastest stop of the day again, and P4, but McLaren do big things as well. So McLaren up to P2, but look at this. We've taken 80 points in the pit stop competition. We've done a lot of work with the pit crew over the last year or 2, so it looks like we're going to have very good pit stops this year, although it's not really an important championship, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see. Yeah, better now just means I need to take more care. Yeah, it's definitely UV'd. Hopefully you can still work and stuff as well, buddy. Right, race targets completed. And our head of aero is going up, which is nice to see. So is our technical chief. Anything else? No. Okay, next race in this series will be Japan in 11 days' time. So if you jumped in for the first time, we stream this every Tuesday and Friday. So on Tuesday, we will be heading to Suzuka for Japan. And if you're not already, do follow or subscribe. And if you're watching this on TikTok or Twitch, head to the profile and click on my bio, and you'll see the YouTube link in that bio. So click on to YouTube and subscribe over there, because not only the live streams over on YouTube, but 2 episodes a week. Plus, you can see every episode so far in this Maserati series. So if you like what you've seen, go over to YouTube, subscribe, check them out, and send me some comments and love over there. And of course, if you've watched on YouTube, then please do subscribe if you're not already, and check out the playlist. But this one does come to a close, and a very good race. Australia, the season opener in 2027, was a little bit of a worry, to be honest with you, but I think it was just track specific, that race. This one has gone very well. Kimi Antonelli, really up and down race, lots of mistakes, but somehow still finishes P2 with a good margin on his teammate. But I don't take that away from Franco Colapinto, because he started P8, had to get through the traffic, he got through the traffic, and he finished P3. So a really good drive from Franco, and a double podium early on in 2027. It's looking good. Got 17 races to go to win that Constructors and start to send a bit of a fight to Max Verstappen, who looks pretty good for this Drivers' Championship this year. But we'll see how we go as next time out. As I say, we're going to be in Japan as we continue this F1 Manager Maserati series. A top Ferrari powered team, Califa? Yes, indeed. Yeah, by a mile. Especially on the works for Ferrari. Look at that. They've only got 6 points so far, Ferrari. They look to be struggling here in 2027. Oh, my Ferrari. Yes, oh, my Ferrari indeed. They are having a struggle this year. But yeah, as I say, that's going to bring this stream to an end. So thanks for dropping in. If you haven't already, as I say, please do follow or subscribe. If you can smash a like before I go, super appreciated. But the last thing for me to say is have a very good weekend, and hopefully I shall